So for this homework set, you're tasked with finding the vertex of a quadratic function. And all these quadratics look like parabolas, and a vertex is going to be the very lowest point of the parabola. Remember, a parabola looks like that. We're trying to find that very lowest point, the very, very bottom, or at the very, very top, depending on if the parabola opens upward or downward. So sometimes you're going to be given the quadratic looks like this. This is in vertex form. That's what they call vertex form. You're given a reference sheet here. And if you look on your reference sheet, right here is the vertex form. Now recall from your circles, do you remember from circles where the H and the K was the center point of the circle and the R was the radius? H and K had a certain, it talks about the center. X and Y just stayed in there. Well, look here at the vertex form. You get this repeat of H and K. It's not the center anymore, it's the vertex. If you are given a function or equation that's a quadratic in this form, then the H value, that number right there, is going to be the X value of your vertex, and the K value over there is going to be the Y value of your vertex. Now recall again, remember in the circles where you change the signs of H and K? Well, you're going to change the sign of H, but not the K value. Okay, so for instance, if I look over at this, I've got x minus 2 squared plus 3. Well, that's the H. And the 3 over here is the K. And the vertex is HK. Okay, so the H value is negative 2. And the K value is a positive 3. I'm sorry, it wouldn't be a negative 2 though. So if you looked here, see how it's already a negative here and a negative there? Well, what would happen if, so I'm going to work this in reverse then. If that vertex was negative 2, 3, and I put it in that vertex form, what happens when there's a negative and a negative? It's plus. And that's not what we're given, right? We're given a negative there, not a positive. So that value is not going to be negative 2. It would be a positive 2. It'd be a positive 2. It'd be a positive 2. So let's look at one just the same way. Okay. So here's an example where you find it again in vertex form. There's no number out there though. There's no number. If there's nothing there, wouldn't that just be the same as saying plus 0? It'd be the same, right? So then the K value, I'm not going to say that's a negative 5. I'm going to flip the sign to positive 5. And then the K value over here is a 0. So the H value is a positive 5. The K value is a 0. The vertex of this quadratic is at 5, 0. 5, 0. See if we can find us another one. It's in vertex form. I don't think I have any more in vertex form. Now I'm given all these questions in standard form. There's a standard form of a quadratic equation. ax squared plus bx plus c. That's the standard form of a quadratic equation. And that's what this form is. So whenever you're given something in standard form and you want to find the vertex of this quadratic equation, the parabola that this thing graphs, your a value is in front of x squared, your b value is in front of x, your c value is in front of 12, and you're going to use the formula negative b over 2a. So this tells you the x coordinate of the vertex. Negative b over 2a tells you the x coordinate of the vertex. So your b value in this case is 8. So I'm going to say negative from the formula, then I put an 8 down. Your a value, see there's nothing there, so there's like a 1 there. So 2 from the formula, and I put me a 1 in for that a value. So negative 8, well, that's a horrible looking 8, over 2. And negative 8 divided by 2, I believe that's negative 4. I think it is. So the x coordinate of the vertex is negative 4. So this is what you know so far. You don't know the y value. But do you remember how we could find points? I think we've talked about this before. If you want to find a point and you're given one of the values, all you have to do is just take that value and plug it in, and it gives you the other point. So to get the other value, the y value of the vertex, you take your x value that you found and plug it back in. take it and plug it back in. So we're going to take it and plug it back in. Negative 4 squared plus 8 times negative 4 plus 12. Just back in the original equation, right? We'll plug it back in there for x. Negative 4 right there, negative 4 right there, plus 12. Okay, so we need to clean that up a bit. If I clean that up a little bit here, negative 4 squared would be 16. Negative 8 times 4 is a negative 32, plus 12. All right, if I put my, let's see, 16 and 12 would make 28 minus 32. 28 minus 32 would be negative 4. So my vertex, well, I already had negative 4 for my x value, and the y value is negative 4. So negative 4 is the vertex for this quadratic equation. Let's do us another one here. Look at this guy. That's not in vertex form, right? That's a standard form. When you see them like this, you got to use the negative b over 2a. If you want to find the vertex, you got to use negative b over 2a. So your a value is 1, your b value is 6. Negative 6 over 2 times 1. Negative 6 over 2 is negative 3. Okay, what do you do now? You take that and you plug it back in. If you plug it back in, you're going to get your y value. Okay, you're going to get your y value. So let's plug that back in. Negative 3 squared. 6 times negative 3. Plus 5. 9 minus 18 plus 5. 9 and 5 make 14. That's another negative 4. That is your y value right there. So your vertex is negative 3, negative 4. Well, this is pretty simple, right? If it's going to be in vertex form, you just pull the numbers off, right? If it's in vertex form here, you just pull those numbers off. If it's in standard form, you use negative b over 2a. Do one more example. So this is in standard form of a quadratic equation, so I got to use negative b over 2a. We'll take that answer and plug it back in and get my y value. So the b value is 6. My a value is negative 1. Negative 1. So negative 6 over 2 times negative 1. Negative 6 over negative 2, which is a positive 3. Take that 3 and plug it back in. And this is the way you plug this back in. You go ahead and square this, and then you keep the negative on it. So that would be a negative 18, negative 17 plus 18, and will get you 1. So my y value for my vertex is 1. So the vertex is 3, 1. That's the vertex of that parabola.